Shit to introduce the ends to the means.
They got me screaming out. They got me screaming.
Welcome everyone to another episode of Chillin in the Wolfden. I am your host, Ryan Darris, aka B1 Ninja, aka Omnipotent Omnipresent. You're probably wondering right now, where's Jake? Well, Jake, for one, isn't here normally today, and two, he doesn't watch Stranger Things. But I really want to talk about Stranger Things, so I decided to bring along my brother Gabe and his girl Dani.
What's up, y'all? What's up? Stranger Things, let's get it.
Yeah, so we're gonna be recapping that, talking about it, and another little thing. You guys are actually on the first set today of the new set, the first episode of the new set today.
Oh, nice.
Normally we were just recording in the room, but now we're in the studio area in the garage. But,
Yeah, starting off strong with Stranger Things, too.
yeah, it's a good episode, good stuff, new stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But as always, if you guys enjoy the show, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, drop some comments below on like what you think about the stuff we talk. Check out the links below too if you want to go the extra mile and support. And yeah, quick little overview. We said we're going to be talking about Stranger Things, and then we'll be ending it with our normal top 5, which will be our top 5 live action shows ever. But let's get into it. So just a quick little recap, which I just recapped all this. I forgot how much shit happened, so I'll try and go as fast as I can. But starting off with the first season of Stranger Things, you have the cast of The Boys, which is basically Will, Lucas, Mike, Dustin. And then you got 11. You got Jonathan, Steve, and Nancy, and Barb, who are the high schoolers. And then you got the adults, which is Joyce and Hopper, who are pretty much the only main ones who matter. And then you got Hawkins' lab, which is Dr. Jenner. In there, you find that Will goes missing. They meet a strange girl named Elle who can't really speak much and has some pretty cool powers who you see escape from that lab. The crazy monster ends up killing Nancy's best friend Barb, and eventually Elle kills the Demogorgon at the high school and she disappears, seeming to be dead. Joyce and Hopper end up rescuing Will, and at the very end we see that Hopper is actually taking care of Elle in secret. Season 2, we get the Mind Flare, where we also get some new characters, Max and Billy. Will spits out a monster and is still kind of connected to the Upside Down, which you see him having like moments where he thinks he's in the Upside Down.
Like episodes.
Yeah. PTSD episodes.
Yeah,
basically.
Jesus.
Elle meets some other girl in powers after she runs away from her little hideout. Ends up finding her birth mother, who's like catatonic. Does some mind shit to see inside her mind and figure out like what happened and kind of talk to her. Dustin finds the weird little monster that Will spit up, but doesn't know that that's what that is. Just thinks it's some new animal and starts raising it. Billy's possessed. Nancy leaves Steve for Jonathan. 11 eventually returns, kills the monster. Will has the monster exercise out of him, and Elle closes the gate in Hawkins' lab. Season 3, we get new characters again, Alexei, Murray, and the Russians. The kids break into the underground Russian base, then the adults do it. Billy's still possessed and comes to the mall to attack the kids. Billy breaks possession, sacrifices himself to save the kids. The government shuts down all the crazy shit. Elle and Will and his fam move at the end.
Elle loses her powers, too.
Oh yeah, that's right, and Elle loses powers. Yep. That's actually a big thing. And then Season 4, this is where you guys can help me recap, because I didn't recap this even though I just watched
That's
it.
fine.
But, so we have 11 at the new school with
Will, Nancy, Jonathan's there. We get a new character. It's Argyle, which is Jonathan's smoking friend.
He's funny.
Also, a few new characters. We get Eddie,
who
is fabulous.
Which at first you think like he's like, oh god, he's another Billy, but then
He
you're
wasn't!
Like, oh no, this guy's actually pretty fucking cool.
Hellfire, though.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's running the D&D club with all the kids.
You get to meet Enzo, which is
yeah.
the Russian guard that is with Hopper's alive. He's at a Russian prison.
Forgot to mention Hopper dies at the end.
Enzo's there. Murray fucking is like a beast in that season. The
Yeah,
fucking
Murray
beats
in
the
the-
fuck out of
in the airplane.
Yuri,
Yeah.
on the airplane.
That was great. I love that
Yeah.
scene.
That
too.
was awesome. Let's see. I'm missing another character. Oh, we get to meet One and Vecna. Is the
That's
new
right.
animated season 4, which was pretty dope. And that whole backstory was really great. How it was showing the kid. What was his name?
Okay.
Vecna as a kid. Like his, it was like that story, and then showing. It doesn't matter. Yeah, I like how they showed that backstory, obtaining who won and connecting it to Vecna, which was pretty great. What else happened in season 4? Elle gets her powers back.
Oh yeah, she finds Dr. Jenner Jenner's working
yeah.
with the other scientist dude, who's actually doesn't seem like he's too bad of a guy. Actually, he actually seems like he does care about her somewhat. But yeah, they come up with an experiment to basically relive her memories in the sensory deprivation tank, and basically it'll ignite her powers again. We get the I forgot to mention, we get in the last season too, Bob, who was not the last season, I think it was season 2 maybe. Bob, who's dating Joyce, and I don't know why that whole time I kept thinking he was like some secret bad guy, but
He's
ends
just
up
a
being
great
just
guy.
a really nice dude, and then fucking dies. I'm like, oh well, that's just sad.
You know, if they just didn't stand there and look at each other for like 10 seconds,
I know, I was like, why are you doing this
knowing
now?
that there's a demigod
You
right
know
behind you,
he was like 20 feet away. You're gonna
and there's
wait.
like 5 more now. Like, come on.
I was like, Bob, god damn it, this is why you died.
Honestly, though, it's probably good that he did sacrifice himself, because they probably would have gone away.
And at the end of the day, as much as I like them together, I really like her being
But-
a Hopper.
Yeah,
It's like,
they're
it's
meant.
just sad. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Other than we also saw that when one supposedly killed all the kids the whole time, she thinks at the facility.
It was,
turns
yeah,
out
we
it
gotta
was
learn
one.
Elle's backstory.
And then she basically did the same thing she did to the Demigorgon to one, where she basically disintegrated him, but what it did is actually sent him to the Upside Down, which not really clear if that's when it was made. I don't think that's when the Upside Down was made. I think that's just it was the first time we ever crossed dimensions with it, you know?
I think Vecna made the Upside Down. It was already there. I think he made it even worse.
Yeah, he took control of it.
Yeah,
once
he was
there.
like, I'm
Yeah.
gonna change the decor of this place.
Well, yeah, we see what I don't know if it's necessarily the disintegrating from Elle or if it's the lightning bolt that transformed him. But if it's the lightning bolt, I wonder if Elle just runs into a lightning bolt and Upside Down, and she'll kind of Goku Super Saiyan into
Vecna.
basically
Dude, what? That's the next form. That's just the next.
Honestly, yeah, that's what I feel like. This might turn into some Goku shit. She'll
We get to see that the Russians have a Demigorgon for themselves.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, another one of those bitches. We also we see those new monsters too in the Upside Down. The bats that almost kill Steve.
That's right. The bats. The tentacles are now more. I mean, I guess no, because they were like that in season 3 as well. Actually.
Yeah, but that wasn't
2.
those tentacles just the Mind Flayer's tentacles?
Yeah.
Because these ones are more like trees. They're part of the Upside Down's trees.
That's right. It was more like the Mind Flayer.
But I like that they work the same. But I think that's pretty much it. Oh, and what I was forgot to mention, we also find out that the dude from the past, Vecna's dad, was sent to prison because he got framed for killing all his
That's right.
family, but it was actually Vecna.
Vecna.
And when Nancy's talking to him,
Henry Creel.
yeah, Henry Krill, there we go. Nancy finds out that how did you escape the trance or whatever? And he's like, I just heard something really beautiful. And it ended up being his favorite song, which they end up testing that on
Max,
Max.
and it works.
and they played the fucking
Kate Bush running up the hill.
great song, which it's really funny.
It's no one really heard of it until she.
I know, this is the funny thing. So when they played that, when I got to that scene, right, I was like, wow, this song sounds really familiar. And not just I probably heard it somewhere.
Yeah.
But I was like, no, this something else. I've heard this in another movie or show. And I spent 20 minutes, and I found out, Amelia showed me the show called Life. It's kind of like Arrow. This detective cop gets framed for a murder, and he finally makes it out because they find evidence that it wasn't him. And he basically kind of does some vigilante cop shit to get those guys. But in there, like, there's like a really intense scene just like that, and they play the same fucking song, but someone else like covered it. It was like some dude, and that's what I heard first. And I was like, oh. So when I heard it that time, it like made me like it even more, because the first time I heard it, I already seen like an intense scene and made me like the song, and I was like, oh, this is dope.
Nice.
But that is an overall recap, which I technically forgot to say spoiler warning, but y'all should know if you're getting a recap, that's what fucking spoilers are, so you're dumb for not realizing that.
Go watch Stranger Things if you haven't watched it.
But now I say let's talk about some of the random stuff for us. You guys had a good question, which was
Oh yeah, what would be like your song, Ryan? Like if you were getting fucked up by Vecna and I had to put a song on to get you out, what would like be your song that would get you out of that situation?
See, I think there's definitely the problem is, like, you know, like me, I like so many genres.
Yeah.
So like one of the things is like it's kind of like depending on the current moment in time, like what I'm listening to. But there are a few songs in particular that I think could be played that would work no matter what like day it is or how old I am, which is like probably Everlong by the Foo Fighters.
Okay.
Sanctuary by Jesper Kidd, which is from Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
I Love You for Existing by Diversa, I also really like. And maybe like Moonlight Sonata. Like I know those are some pretty strong songs for me.
Okay.
Those like songs were combined into one.
Yeah, that would just play them all, put on multiple headphones on. Like one of these will fucking work.
What would be your?
Mine, if I like a few of them would probably be like, you know, Everybody Wants to Rule the World, probably one of them.
Oh, that's a good one. Alex loves that song.
Fade to Black by Metallica.
Another good one.
Probably Home Sweet Home by Motley Crue.
Nice.
And if I had to go, I don't know why. It's just I feel like it would work. 30-30 by Deltron Zero.
Oh, that's a good one too.
I don't know why, dude. I feel like that would that just
Dude, isn't it funny Frank doesn't like that song?
really.
Yeah, I know.
What the fuck? That makes like no sense.
I know. I'm like, what? I love. That's like my favorite Del
And that song, well, that song like is like the song that reminds me of Dad, but like
Yeah.
that's like that hits home.
Yeah, I know. I love that song.
Yeah, I do too. The beat's great.
What about yours, Danny? What would be your songs that we could use?
Mine would be like pretty simple, like God by Clam Casino.
Oh, yeah,
Oh
you
shit! I love Clams Casino. I
Yeah,
used to
I
listen to them all the time.
That or any washed out song.
Yeah, she likes Watch That too, right?
Like Belong. That's like my song. I love that song.
I love those artists that are like, they're kind of like hip hop and like electronic, but also like dance and like just like very like atmospherical. I don't know what to describe them, but I love those kind of bands.
Or
Like,
Tame
groups.
Impala.
Life is Life.
That reminds me of.
Or Life is
You
Life.
should check out. There's two artists that are kind of like those that you mentioned, which is Gold Panda and Holy Other. They're like some really weird kind of hip hop, electronic, atmospherical stuff that's very similar. I think you guys would like. But yeah, those yeah, it's a tough question. There's a lot of that's the problem is they're like in the '80s, so there's not nearly as many genres, let alone songs now. It's like it depends on the era, the mood, the type. Like there's so many. But what about like what do you guys think will happen for the next? There's 2 episodes.
There's 2
coming
more
out.
episodes coming out tomorrow.
Isn't one
He
like
saw
one's like
trailers.
isn't one like an hour and one's like 2 hours? Right?
something like that?
I think they're pretty long.
Depending, like, because I do have a few theories on how season 5 could go, but it really just depends on the outcome of how the next 2 episodes go.
Oh, I gotta say, I was close at the very beginning of season, like the first episode of season 3. I was like, oh, what if whatever's controlling the Upside Down, which was Vecna at the time, but I don't think it had a name. I was like, what if he's turning the people he captures into the monster? Which I was close. It wasn't that, or at least that's been shown yet. It's he just got turned into a monster. So I was kind of close.
They are hinting a few people may die.
Yeah, like Steve.
Steve has been hinted to be
Steve
one.
might die.
Will has been hinted
I
to
could
be
see
another
Steve
one.
dying because one, he's like a fan favorite,
And
he's like, he's gotten to the fight so many times to save people's life. Like, eventually his luck's gonna kind of run out. Like, I can see him doing that.
I
Like,
really
it's
hope.
just-
I know he's a new character. There's a scene of Eddie playing his fucking guitar, which I can't wait to see. already saw a little clip of it, but I hope they don't kill Eddie.
See, here's the thing.
I
feel
know
like
he's
50
new, but dude, he really
that's
made
the
the
problem.
show
It's
so.
like 50-50. I could see them kill Eddie because remember he makes the whole thing like, I'm not a hero, I'm a fucking coward. I could see them doing kind of like the Billy thing, like, they're gonna kill him, but it's like a redeeming thing to make him a good character. But I really hope they don't do
Yeah.
that.
Will, they've been hinting that Will may die. Even the cast member Will said, well, one of us dies. Well,
Damn, you think they'll kill a kid? They haven't killed like a kid. Like they killed Barb,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but they haven't killed a kid yet, right?
And it sucks that if Will died, because he had to do through all that
shit. I know. Like, what if they kill off like Lucas instead? Then like they bait and switch.
Well,
like they make it something like
also they've
Will's gonna die, but because Will's gonna die, like Lucas like somehow jumps in to save him, and ends up dying, and they
There's a picture I saw on Instagram of Will like crying, screaming, and it looks like someone died. So the only people
maybe
I can think
11 dies. To kill
11,
Vecna.
maybe
Oh, yeah.
max.
It might be 11.
I know Nancy's in the trance right now with Vecna.
I could see Max because she's got the fucking thing going on.
So
'Cause they didn't technically cure that from her, right? They just stopped it that
they
one
just
time.
stopped it, yeah.
So I could see them killing Max.
Because Vecna
off.
can go visit his dad again if he wants to. He just hasn't done it yet.
Yeah, I don't know. I have a couple theories. So one, this is leaning on the fact that I don't think the Upside Down was created by Vecna. I think it's always existed. It's just
Yeah.
the first time we ever like encountered it was when 11 sent the portal there, and then we like always had a way. So what I think is gonna happen is they'll probably kill Vecna at the last episode, but it'll turn out that he's not fully in control of the Upside Down, that there's like an even bigger monster that's been controlling it since it's always been around basically, and that'll be kind of like the last season's boss. And I think it'll have to be one of those things where either 11 like sacrifices herself or turns out to be or not 11, or 11's mom turns out to be this whole time like the big bad boss. She's been controlling it with her mind, and that's why she's in the catatonic state, because she's actually controlling it. But I also have heard theories that maybe like 11 will turn out to be the big bad.
But yeah, that's what I heard too. 11's probably.
It's like, I don't know.
She doesn't know it, but it just happens. Like after killing Vecna, something happens. She turns evil.
Yeah, I just feel like that reasoning is so weak. Like, just I turn because she's had so much experience with everyone to be like, even if like she breaks up with Mike and she like hates him, like she's still got all the other kids and Joyce and Hopper to like love her. That I feel like it's pretty weak. They have to give her a good fucking reason. Like they have to. Everyone else has to die pretty much.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's kind of hard until we get the next.
Yeah,
last
it really
two
depends on
episodes.
how the outcome comes out the last episode of the season.
But yeah, I do think there's gonna be another. Big
Just so much
bad.
is gonna happen in the next 2 episodes.
Yeah, I could see definitely Jonathan. I mean, not Jonathan. Steve dying. I think Will
might
and
die.
Will might die. Now she mentioned it, and I do think Max might die.
Might die. Yeah. I don't want to lose Steve too, because I like Steve. You know, he was a dickhead in the first season.
No, it's funny because I hated him up until the very last moment where like he runs away from the fight at the end.
But then
Like,
comes
shit,
back.
and then comes back. I'm like, okay,
and then beats the
fine.
fuck out of the bat. Like,
And then
alright,
he's
Steve.
just a fucking homie for the rest
dude
of the
with
show.
the kids.
It's a
Like
babysitter.
I know,
he
I
hates
love
it, but you know he likes it at the same time.
Steve's definitely one of my favorite characters
Yeah.
for sure. I also do really like Jonathan just because like generally a good person.
Yeah.
Jonathan Argyle, funny as hell.
Yeah.
I didn't like Nancy. Not that I hate her, but I didn't care for Nancy as much until like the
She's
last season and this season, because now she's like full on reporter, like trying to handle shit and bossing up, and she
Yeah,
like jumps straight in to save Steve.
She don't give a
She's a
fuck.
bad bitch.
Yeah. Also like Joyce too, because she's just been. Everyone thinks she's fucking crazy, but she's just like been about this shit and like figuring it out.
She knew when the fucking magnets fell off her face something was
Like
wrong,
that,
dude.
she
Yeah.
fucking figured out that like doing the Christmas light shit, she fucking knew that was her son's like breath
She
on the
broke
phone.
into a Russian prison to save Hopper.
Yeah, and Hopper too. Hopper's also
He
he's
fought off
probably
a
my
Demogorgon.
favorite I'd say.
Yeah.
Because Hopper's just fucking badass, and I love him because he's got such a tragic backstory, like his whole kid and everything.
And have to go through that shit too.
Yeah. Yeah, you can definitely see like he projects the love he had for his own kid onto like 11, which I like. But yeah, I don't know. Do you guys have any other theories or things you want to mention before we move on?
No, I think I'm good. You know what
The way the people died, remember?
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
their eyes.
The way they died was actually pretty
Fucking
cool.
the Krill family or whatever. That
God,
was, yeah,
and
that
then
was
the way-
pretty trippy.
What was that? Girl, Cass? No. What was her name?
Robin?
No. The girl that first died. That was
Oh,
saved.
I actually totally forgot. I never mentioned Robin throughout this whole thing.
Oh yeah, Robin.
She comes in what, season 2?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and she's actually, I love Robin too. She's
Her and Steve are funny together.
Yeah.
just
They're
one of
like-
those people who just like can handle shit well. She's like, oh, this has happened. All right, let's fucking do it, I guess. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it, guys. So stay tuned for the next 2 episodes. We'll probably do a review in like a week or 2 off those, and talk about. We'll probably make a more informed opinion on what'll happen in the season after.
I do have a question actually. So you know how in like season 1, 2, and 3 in the Upside Down, when they went into it, they were in the same year. How did it change from like in season 4? Remember when they went into it, it went all the way back to season 1. Remember when Nancy's like, "Oh, I have guns," and when they go get the guns, they found her notes that they did in season 1. How did they go back in time?
So so the day that L sends 1 into the Upside Down, that's either some people think that's the day the Upside Down was created, or it's more, I think that's just the first time we were able to get there. That day, because that was created, that's when the Upside Down mimicked Earth, and so time stopped moving in the Upside Down. Everything's gonna stay on that one day, which is why when they go back to that time and they don't find the guns, is because it started that day. No matter what, the Upside Down will stay on that day, and I think it's gonna be one of those things like it won't move forward until they, kill the boss and beat the story mission.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, because I was kind of wondering about that too. The only thing is, I was thinking about is like, does that mean like time doesn't move for the characters too when they're in there? Like if Will stayed in there that whole year, basically, did that mean he didn't age for a year? Because time didn't stop moving at that point Upside Down. So
That's a good question.
yeah, because then that raises a lot of questions to think about Vecna, like, because he was like, what, in his probably like mid-20s?
Mid-20s, something like that.
Yeah, so that means like let's say they don't destroy him, but they basically close the portal forever and he's trapped in there forever, will he kind of like stay that age and never die, you know what I mean?
Probably. That's a good question, though.
Yeah. So I wonder if that's gonna come into play, like why it stops time in the Upside Down that day or anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, drop some comments below, guys. Let us know what you think. Let us know what you think about our thoughts and all that. Now we're gonna be moving on to our top 5, which today we're doing our top 5 favorite live-action TV shows ever. Which it's not necessarily what we think is like the best written and like best actors, all that. It's just like our 5 favorites. The way I can tell people to make it easiest is like, if you were stranded on an island and you only had 5 movies you could watch, what would these 5 movies be, or 5 TV shows? So this one was actually really hard, especially because I've binged so much shit this last year. So I have just like, out of the new shit, hundreds, and like out of old shit I had, so it took a while. But real quick, I'm going to do a couple honorable mentions. Stranger Things, since we talked about that, great show. True Blood, Red Dwarf, Sweet Home, Sherlock, and Breaking Bad. All dope shows. Really close to making the list, but didn't quite make it. This list might change up depending on the day, minus the top 2. Those ones will probably stay there forever. But starting off at number 5, I got Revolution, which is a J.J. Abrams like sci-fi apocalypse show. It's super dope. I was big into Lost, so that like inspired that. Knowing that they have like some of the same actors and stuff, and it's got a very same vibe. It's done by the same people. But the basis of that show is all the power in the world stops working, like going to use computers and electricity. So, guns are scarce. Like militias take over the governments. There's like bandits everywhere. People start using swords and bows more. They're hunting and farming, and it's pretty crazy. But they had a lot of cool sci-fi elements, and I'm big into shows like that. And they had some like cool futuristic tech, and there's like nanobugs and just pretty cool, crazy shit happens there. And if you like Lost and just like Walking Dead and like shows kind of like that, Star Trek, you know, for the sci-fi, it gives you a lot of that all in one show. But that's my number 5. Number 4, I got Death Valley. There's actually another show called Death Valley, so to specify, this is the MTV one where it's basically about these cops who have to deal with vampires and zombies and werewolves.
I've seen
And
it so long.
it's like, it kind of reminds me of like Reno 911 meets like True Blood almost. But it's pretty funny. It was on MTV. It got canceled after a season, but I actually really liked it. One of the actresses on Arrow started off there, I think, and like I enjoyed her in that, so it was cool when I saw her on Arrow later. But it's super funny, and it's just like a jokey little show, and I just like, you know, like all those like mythical creatures and like vampires and shit like that. So it's fun to watch. Number 3, I got Titans, which is, you know, pretty big show right now. A lot of people are enjoying it. I just like it because it's a lot grittier than most of the superhero shows we get. Season 1 is kind of but I really enjoyed season 2 and 3 when they got Deathstroke and Red Hood. I thought that was super awesome. I really like Nightwing in that. Beast Boy's characters also. I wish it a little underutilized, but I do like the actor that got from him. I feel like he plays a good guard. Most of the characters I actually enjoyed their roles, and they just have some really fucking dope fight scenes. Like, and dude, like crazy shit happens. Like someone gets blown up.
Nice.
Superboy murders some people. Fucking Nightwing like throws his Robin ring into like someone's eyes. So it's like it's a little darker, but I kind of enjoy it. That's my number 3. Getting into number 2. Now these are the ones that will probably never change. And that's Arrow. Green Arrow is my favorite DC character, and like never really had anything to see in this. It's awesome, and it was like kind of around the time thing like superhero shows were getting a little bit grittier and stuff. Season 1 and 2 definitely like the strongest, probably my favorite seasons other than like season 5 with Prometheus. But it's like super sick. They have some of the sickest fight scenes ever. I really love the costumes in it for them, the like arrow wear. I love how it kind of took like the Dark Knight trilogy and kind of like tried to blend it more like in a realistic world. I really liked all the actors in there, like John Scott Barrowman, who plays Malcolm Merlin. Like he's a dope actor. I love I forget his name, but the guy who plays Diggle, he's super good. I really like Stephen Amell as Green Arrow. Will Holland is still a queen. And all that, they're all badass and like learn how to do all the martial arts or already somewhat knew it and like do a lot of the stunts and shit. So it's super cool and they're all like super friendly cast. But yeah, that's like that one was it's really biased. It was gonna make the list super easy just because I love Green Arrow, so it was just like a must. But getting into my number 1, and this one has been my number 1 since like high school basically.
We first watched it.
And that's Lost. Fucking very divisive show. A lot of people love it. A lot of people
You hate it, dude.
A lot of people I know don't understand it, don't get it, but it's actually like a really great show. And I do get why a lot of problems. Like it's not a perfect show. There are some stuff in here that can be fixed. There's even some episodes where I'm like meh about. But overall, I think it's good. I think a lot of the reason people don't like it is because J.J. Abrams. I think he left after like season 4, so it's just the other guys doing it. So they didn't have necessarily the rest of his vision to finish it. But I think in the end it still makes sense. I think people just don't get it. But it has to do with like alternate timelines and like faith and science, religion, stuff like that. And yeah, I don't want to spoil it in case someone ever hasn't seen it yet for some reason and wants to go watch it. But if you're confused about it, just comment below later and I'll explain it to you because it actually makes perfect
The first
sense.
episode got me into it.
Yeah, I mean,
The
it's
crowd,
just,
and then you just like at the end of the episode, you hear a big ass noise in the fucking forest.
and I just love for the fact that almost everyone ever thinks that it's a dinosaur at first.
Dude, that's what I thought. It was like
I
a
know.
big ass dinosaur.
And then like there's the whole thing where I think maybe they're all dead and they're like purgatory and the others are trying to help them move on and it's like that's not, but it's a great show and it's a show that people don't understand that it's meant to raise questions and in fact they purposely put unanswered questions in there, like, remember that part when the island starts skipping across time and they're on the raft and randomly there's just people in the water shooting at them? Like that's a purposely unanswered question. They purposely left that in there with no answer ever. So, but
Just to piss you off.
the main stuff, the stuff you do want to know, that stuff is actually answered. You just gotta think about it just a little bit. But yeah, that's my top 5 real quick. I'm just gonna run it back. I got Revolution at number 5. I got Death Valley at number 4. Titans at 3. Arrow at 2. And Lost at number 1. All right, Gabe. What about you? What's your top 5?
Top 5, starting at number 5 is Sons of Anarchy.
No honorable mentions?
Honorable mentions, like Trailer Park Boys, Always Sunny, Mr. Show, The Dave Chappelle Show. It's a guilty pleasure, but I like watching it because it's just funny sometimes. Jersey Shore, because they like to
Oh
play
my
with each
God.
other. Dude, I just can't. It's so funny because sometimes the bitches just be crying. I'm like, oh my god, get it home.
No, I get it. That's why I used to like watching those love shows back in middle school.
Yeah, it's just so funny.
It's just fucking funny, the drama on that shit. I get it.
It's like I like to laugh.
It's funny if you
You want
watch
to
it.
laugh.
If it's funny if you
Watch
watch it
Jersey
like you're trying to watch an episode of It's Always Sunny.
Yeah.
That's when those shows are good.
But yeah, but starting at my top 5, number 5, Sons of Anarchy. Love that show. Got me on after watching the first season, it was great. It's
Yeah,
about a biker gang dealing in California called the Sons of Anarchy. Had to deal with other gangs in California, and going from gun running to drug muling, a lot of shootouts. Good series. Great series. I recommend watching
Real
it.
quick, I always said I really like the guy who played Jax in that to play Oliver Queen in the Green Arrow movie. I think.
I
think he played a dope one.
I also saw him in another movie. He was in a movie called I think it was called Frontier or something like that. It had Ben Affleck in it
Oh, nice.
and the other people. It was a really good movie. Yeah, Sons of Anarchy is at number 5. Recommend watching it. At number 4, we got Shameless. Great series, very funny, good drama to it. It's about family trying to hustle their way, steal, do anything to survive through every day, try and make it in the world. For number 3, I got to go with Breaking Bad. Ryan showed me that TV show. Great series, and they did a spin-off with El Camino, which was great. The person that plays Walter White and Jesse Pinkman, I give a shout out to them because they did both of those roles perfectly, and
so
they're
great.
best friends too. Some of the
know.
cutscenes, the behind scenes, is great. Oh man, I love Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
At number 2, it actually got bumped up is Stranger Things to season 4. He doesn't love fucking Stranger Things now, dude.
It's a good show.
Dude, a great show. And then for number 1, it probably never will be changed, is Vikings. Vikings is the shit. Takes place during the era of Ragnar, the first Viking to sail to the west, and to take down not 1 but 2 kingdoms in England, and took down Paris as well. So if you like watching people get fucked up in raids and you like fighting, Vikings is a great show to watch. And it's historical, so it's a lot of accurate about it too.
You should really play Valhalla because you're like friends with Ragnar and all them.
I know, I gotta
You
play
probably
it.
love it.
But yeah, let me run it back for my top 5. At 5, it's going to be Sons of Anarchy. 4 is going to be Shameless. 3 is Breaking Bad. 2 is Stranger Things. And 1 is Vikings.
Nice.
And also, what was the other good show you showed me was the TV show Tara?
Oh, United States of Terror.
Yeah.
That's actually a good honorable
Oh
mention.
yeah, that's a
Yeah,
good one.
Yeah,
that's
she
a good
loves it. Yeah, she likes
I
that
forgot
one.
about that show.
That was a great one. I like that.
All right, Danny. Well, what about your top 5 for the day?
Alright. Are we doing it 1 or?
From 5 to 1.
Okay.
Yeah, least favorite to favorite.
So number 5 is GOT, Games of
Nice.
Thrones.
Yeah, that was a good
That
series.
came out 2011. The drama series has 8 seasons. Pretty great show. So
I love the
Yeah.
battles. I love the fight scenes in there.
Yeah, they have some
Fighting.
super stellar
So-
fights, choreography in that,
Mhm.
and the shots too. I love the cinematography.
And where they
Yeah.
shot the place too. Where they're at was beautiful.
Malcolm in the Middle.
Oh,
It
it's
came out
classic.
in 2000s. It's a CinemaCon. It had 7 seasons. It's in Hulu too.
I remember
So
watching that. That was a good show.
check that out.
She showed me that shit's
I love
hilarious.
that
I love
show.
Malcolm was
Yeah.
I used
So
to-
like
I used to watch it on the blog because I used to play that live.
Really?
So
Bob
was-
watched that?
Yeah, that's how I used to watch it all the time.
Yeah. So,
People made a theory like from after Malcolm in the Middle, it went to Breaking Bad.
I love that idea.
It's so great. Yeah.
It's like, can we just connect that and retcon everything? That's what happens.
Shameless came out in 2011. It's a drama comedy show. Has 11 seasons on Netflix. Pretty good show. If like you're like having a sad day or like
Yeah, make you
crappy,
laugh.
it makes you laugh. And Skins. I love that show.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Is
Uh,
it number 2 for your second one?
Number 2,
I've
it
seen
came
some of
out in
that.
2007. Drama series, 7 seasons. It's on Hulu.
It's like a British show
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
It's a UK.
The,
There's US and UK. Don't watch the UK. Watch the US one. So yeah.
one of the characters in Skins is actually in Game of Thrones.
Oh really? That's
Yeah.
So, and Stranger Things is my number 1, of course.
cool. Nice.
Yeah, 'cause that's just that show is just
And
spot on.
anime TV series. I'm just gonna put that out there. Is Parasite. If you haven't seen
Oh, yeah, that's a
it,
good one.
that's a good anime.
That's the one where it's like there's like literally a parasite and it's like it turns into kind of like a weapon and
Yeah.
fights with the kid. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I see.
Yeah, like
Niki. I love
yeah,
Niki. But yeah, those are my favorite shows.
nice. Well, thanks for being here, guys.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it for today.
Subscribe,
Don't forget to
you know.
like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Check out the links below if you want to go the extra mile. And yeah, I'll be doing another Stranger Things episode 2 once the last 2 episodes are out. We'll watch that. So stay tuned, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah.
Peace.
Peace.